Listen, boy, we got some breaking news in the young Dolph murder case. Murder suspect Jamarcus Johnson has entered the plea, and he is telling what he knows. Jamarcus Johnson is the brother of Straight Drop, the one of their last trigger men. And man, listen, the internet is going crazy because now we speculating that the dots will be connected as to who orchestrated, who paid the money, who was the real people behind the young Dolph hit. And yes, it was a hit uh because Jamarcus Johnson is actually saying he actually facilitated getting his brother Straight Drop money from somebody called Unc. Somebody called Unc. But we're gonna get into it. We're gonna play Jamarcus Johnson on the stand, what he's saying, his plea. Listen, man, I'm telling you, this thing finna be big, dog. We got him pretty much telling. And I watched this video already, so I want to go over some of the stipulations in his plea. They're a little strange to me as to what he pled out in the sentences that he may get for cooperating. But let's get this straight. He definitely is cooperating. He definitely is telling this no ifs, ands, or buts. In this video right here, he's going to tell. He gonna tell it. He gonna talk. He gonna say it. So it ain't no mystery in Jamarcus Johnson history. But before we get into it, I want to give a shout out to my moderators, Dream Dog, Italian Bully, Sophisticated Nunu, the Chicks 1000, aka Chick 1K, Flyboy Mike 04. Also, special shout out to my boy Audio Crack, my guy, my round man. I'm rocking with him no matter what. I'm rocking with Audio Crack 22. I don't care. Don't nobody come to me talking to me bad about Audio Crack 22 because it's gonna be smoke. I'm just saying, for real. I'm just letting you know I'm down with them. So shout out to Audio Crack 22. Shout out to Spoonfuls of Game, man. That's YNW Jewish Father. If you're not subscribed to his channel, go subscribe to his channel right now on YouTube. Right now. Right now. I give you permission to get off my live and go subscribe to Spoonful of Game and then jump back on my live. Also, shout out to Unspoken Crime Mysteries. That's also my guy. I'm also rocking with him. So shout out to Unspoken Crime Mysteries, man. And shout out to Nephew for real. You know what I'm saying? Ursula Amos, hey girl, how you doing? Shout out to Jordan Michael. Shout out to Chabella Castillo. Did I say it right? Castillo. Shout out to Slick Puller, my main man Puller talk real slick. Shout out to Kenny, that's my girl, dog. Listen, man, Kenny got a nice soul. She got a nice heart, man. I appreciate you, Kenny. Shout out to Kenny. What's up, Scotty Fly? I see you in the building. My guy. What's up? For real. What's up? Shout out to High Times. Yo. Hey, look. But listen, before I get into it, I had to go live on this, y'all. I had to go live on this, man. I had to go live on this. Listen, I am a Young Dolph fan. I want justice for Dolphin, bro. I ain't gonna cap, bro. When I seen what happened with Young Dolph, bro, I was upset, man. I was very upset. So, I feel away. I'm just being real with you. I feel away. I want justice for Dolph. I'm definitely a Flipper fan. Long live Flipper. You feel what I'm saying? But this case, it was queasy, man, queasy, and I got a lot to say about this case. I'm gonna play this video, and a lot of it gonna come back to me, bro. But I'm gonna just say this before we get started, bro. I know we got laws, and I ain't judging. I'm not judging, bro. Because again, one thing I ain't gonna be no hypocrite. I never did none of this stuff with these guys that were alleged to have done. But I'm gonna say this: I was out there doing wrong and doing crimes and all of this type of stuff too. So I ain't judging them. But I'm gonna say this, dog. I ain't never killed nobody. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never killed nobody, and I'm not justifying nothing I did because it all was bad. It's all bad. But what I'm saying is, bro, these guys, I watch them nowadays, man, and they do these things, and it's almost like they think they're not gonna get caught, or they think that none of this stuff gonna come to light. And I see this stuff. happening more and more often. People are actually carrying out these crimes against like celebrities, like they killing these people, like they're going to get away with this. Like, bruh, if the internet has showed us anything, but the internet is undefeated. The internet will track you down. They will go to your old Instagram, look at your pictures. They will track you down on Facebook, bro, you is not getting away, bro. Like, and if you, I mean, you might, but I'm saying you need to think like you're not gonna get away. That way you won't even do these type of things, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, and I be wondering to myself, because I done been around a lot of people who like that, right? And I used to be thinking, I watch them, I study them, I just sit around, you know what I mean? I talk to them, you know what I mean? Like, you know, they were some of my friends, some people I knew, my associates and stuff. So I used to always, even when I'm around them, I used to study them and watch their movements and try to figure them out, right? And I used to always wonder, do they care about themselves? Because I had partners and still got partners that's like that, and some of them throw it all away at the drop of a dime. If you disrespect them in any kind of way or something like that, they will take it there with you, broad daylight, right there. And I used to be thinking to myself, how much do they care about themselves? You know what I mean? Like, okay, I understand you might not like the person that you want to do something to, but then before you get to the point that you do something to them, you don't think about yourself. You don't think about you may end your life as well. Like, and I notice a lot of them will throw it all away at the drop of a dime on a feeling, on a disagreement or disrespect or pride or embarrassment or something like that. Like, bro, let me tell you something, man. Listen, man. I promise you, dog. I promise you this. I promise you. I'm not saying examples ain't got to be made. I'm not saying be no pushover. I'm not saying let people get away with doing stuff to you. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying be smart. I'm saying some stuff needs to be let go. You can let stuff go in life without you losing respect or pride or something like that, bro. A lot of that stuff just be how we feel in the moment, bro. A lot of that stuff be just how emotions. But if it don't make none of that stuff don't make you not a man or a woman or a human or loved or any of that. It's just what you just feel that way in the moment because it's going down and you might be embarrassed or you might be mad or you might be in the, but if I promise you, bro, I think Battalion Bully said this on one of my lives. I promise you sometimes, bro, if you just don't react, sometimes the best thing to do in a situation is nothing. People don't understand that. Sometimes the best thing to do in a situation is nothing. You know, a lot of people miss that. Sometimes just calm down, go home, go where you go, chill, relax, think, pray, smoke a blunt, talk to somebody positive. Whatever you can do to calm yourself down. And then think about all the consequences that may come from whatever you do. If you got time to do that. Sometimes you got time to do that. Sometimes it's right in the heat of the moment and it is what it is. But I'm saying, if you got time to do that, think. It's scientific proven fact that we don't think as clearly when we're mad. So think. And think of all you got to lose. Think about the consequences. And I'm going to say this. Most of the time, I promise you, most of the time, if you give yourself enough time to think about it, you'll choose the right choice. But if you react off anger, emotions, whatever, a lot of times we gonna make the wrong decision. Now I understand some of us ain't got enough up here to make them decisions. A lot of us is, a little challenged up there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of us functioning, but we ain't functioning totally. So I get that as well. But I'm just saying, man, I just hate to see people lose their lives and do these type of things and to people, and then they end up losing their life too. Here we got Jamarcus Johnson right here, who is accessory after the fact. He didn't even have nothing to do with the actual crime. He just was helping his brother straight drop after the Dolp murder. And here he is wrapped up in it, taking a plea and snitching. So is this gonna track back to who we've been speculating may have been behind this? Let us see. But I will say this, being that he's snitching and he done took a plea, this not looking good for Straight Drop and the other guy. And also, we know Hernandez Govan just got released, who's the alleged mastermind on bond. So I'm telling you, if I had to guess, I would think that they're going to snitch on whoever really is behind this, because let's just be honest, none of us feel like these guys are the guys who actually behind this. None of them had issues with Dolph. Think about this. None of them really had no issues with Dolph. None of them. These are just the guys who carried this act out. But I'm gonna play this video for you. This is him in court. This is the judge talking to him. This is lawyer entering his plea, and this is actually him on the stand saying what his involvement was and what was going down.
As we told Your Honor in chambers, I think the court is aware, the state now understands the exact participation of Mr. Johnson in the conspiracy with regard to the murder and cover-up of the murder of Adolph Thornton Jr.
For real, they already folded.
In the community. Mr. Johnson had no, Mr. Johnson, Jamarcus Johnson, had no involvement in the homicide before the murder. He had no involvement in the homicide during the murder. His involvement was after the fact. About a week after the murder of Adolph Thornton, his brother, Justin Johnson, who in fact was one of the shooters and one of the killers of Adolph Thornton Jr.
So did you hear what the lawyer just said? This is his lawyer entering. This is Jamarcus Johnson's lawyer entering his plea. He just said that Jamarcus Johnson's brother, what his name was? I can't remember. I can't remember what he said. Justin Johnson. He said Justin Johnson was in fact one of the murderers of young Dolph. He just said that. The lawyer just said that. So that lets you know that Jamarcus Johnson had already said all this. But listen.
To him and gave him certain property, a car, not the car used in the murder, Johnson's cell phone that he had during the murder and that he had used for some time before. This Mr. Johnson agreed to take possession of the car, and he agreed to take possession of the cell phone. His taking possession of the cell phone and the car aided in Mr. Justin Johnson's continued evasion.
All right, I'm gonna do them tapes.
Continued cover of the conspiracy. This Mr. Johnson also used the telephone. He used the telephone by his brother Justin would call the telephone, he'd place the telephone up to another telephone, and they would, in essence, trick Justin Johnson's federal probation officer into believing that Justin Johnson still had his cell phone and was still in Memphis, Tennessee, when in fact he had fled after murdering Adolph Thornton and was not in our community. He also did the same thing where he placed Justin Johnson's cell phone up to another cell phone, and he facilitated a conversation. Again, this is over a week after the homicide, between his brother Justin Johnson and the other shooter of Adolph Thornton, Cornelius Smith. Mr. Johnson preserved the telephone and turned it over to authorities. He's spoken with the state, and he's described the content of that conversation and the content of some text messages between Cornelius Smith and Justin Johnson that included Mr. Justin Johnson.
So did you hear him? The lawyer was saying that Straight Drop, which is Jamarcus Johnson's brother, one of the alleged trigger men, he said that he actually gave Jamarcus Johnson not a smoke break slip pull. I had to get some paperwork. He actually gave Jamarcus Johnson a car and a cell phone, and what he would do is he would call the cell phone, and he would tell Jamarcus to call some people that he wanted him to call, and then Jamarcus would put the cell phones together, and then they would talk like that, and they would like that, right? And I ain't got it all the way down, but he was saying it was in order to trick Straight Drop's probation officer to feel like he was still in Memphis, but he had already fled the state.
Trying to get money to Cornelius Smith after the killing,
and he was also facilitating the payments. So when Straight Drop needed money, or when Straight Drop was trying to get paid for the Dolph hit, Jamarcus Johnson would be the one to facilitate the payments to Straight Drop.
Jamarcus Johnson has given truthful statements to the state with regard to all those.
1 second, y'all. 1 second.
Those are 3 acts of an accessory after the fact that did aid in the cover-up and this conspiracy. For those reasons, now that we understand those to be the facts of his involvement, now that he's given a truthful statement with regard to these things, he has also identified a picture of his brother Justin Johnson wearing the outfit of one of the shooters of Dolp just directly before the homicide.
And I fell out to my knees when the Lord came. He just said that Jamarcus Johnson did pick his brother out of a lineup. So he is a fully cooperating. And I fell out to my knees. Man. I'm telling you, dog. Listen, like my boy Lord about to say, cold blitz. Listen, man. Listen. Hey. And I want to say this too. Jamarcus Johnson, he ain't got no criminal record. Straight Drop brother Jamarcus Johnson, when they were asking to do all this, he ain't got no criminal record. Never been in jail. Never been arrested till this time. And they thought he was going to stand up. Shit.
He's been 100% cooperative and truthful. We're asking Your Honor to accept the guilty plea and recommendation in the case. There's a criminal information that is before Your Honor. It has 3 counts. It's I-2300019. It alleges 3 counts of accessory after the fact for those 3 acts that I just described to the court: taking possession of the car, the cell phone, and then using the cell phone to facilitate those communications. Even though Mr. Johnson is a range 1 offender, he has no criminal history. He's agreeing by this guilty plea, which is open to the court, that he should be sentenced as
1 second. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button.
range 2 offender. These are E felonies. Range 2 for an E felony carries 2 to 4 years incarceration.
I want to back this part up real quick here, y'all, just for a second here, because it's very interesting, right? So I'm going to go over this because, you know, they're talking in court, so, you know, it's kind of like a little muffled a little bit for me. But I want to say this, right? Yeah, shout out Slick Pulley, ass Cain and Abel type. But look, so Jamarcus Johnson has no criminal history. He's not a felon or anything, right? So they're saying he's only a grade 1 offender or whatever. I guess they're trying to say that he don't have no criminal history. So how they gonna score? How they scoring him out? And what I mean scoring is you have points in order to let the courts know what your possible punishment could be. You feel what I'm saying? And you get points for going to jail and stuff like that, and convictions. Well, you get points for convictions. So what they're saying is, since he doesn't have no criminal history, he's only a grade 1, right? Check this out, though. But in the plea, they're going to sentence him on being a grade 2, which is an upgrade from where he actually slots in the point system. That is baffling to me. I don't understand it to that point, because I don't understand how he could be a grade 1 and he in his plea agreement, they agreeing to, I guess the only thing I can assume is that They had him dead to rights, and the plea, they wouldn't budge and sentence him on being a grade 1, because a grade 1 would have gave him a lower sentencing. You see what I'm saying? But hey,
the court that he should be sentenced as a range 2 offender. These are E felonies. Range 2 for an E felony carries 2 to 4 years incarceration. He's pleading guilty to all 3 counts of the information to those 3 E felonies, 2 to 4 years incarceration. He's also agreeing that when Your Honor sentences him, that all 3 of those sentences should be consecutive to each other. So Mr. Johnson is in essence pleading guilty to the court, open to the court, to a sentence that can range between 6 and 12 years when Your Honor sentences Mr. Johnson. Yes, sir.
So on a grade 1, he would only be sentenced to 2 to 4 years, right? But being that they bumping him up to grade 2, he could be sentenced from 6 to 12 years. And another thing that baffles me in his plea agreement, there, I guess from what I can gather, this is what the state offered him, and he it seems to me that they was like, look, you better take this or else, right? Because he only slide side the 2 to 4 years, being that he ain't no criminal, right? Right, but he is signing a plea that's gonna bump him up to a grade 2, and he gonna be slotted to do 6 to 12 years, right? But damn, what's my other point I was gonna make? Damn, I forgot. Hold on, let me back it up. Let me back it up real quick.
Your Honor sentences him, that all 3 of those sentences should be consecutive to each other. So Mr.
That's what I want to get at too. So they're saying that he's pleading out the 3 charges, right? And they're saying that all 3 of the charges, they're recommending that the charges be served consecutively. So you got 2 choices. You got consecutively and you got concurrently. Consecutively means one after the other. So basically what they're trying to do is whatever they sentence him to on the 3 charges, whatever his time is, say he gets sentenced for one crime, right? He going to do, and say if he gets sentenced to 2 years, he going to do 2 years. Then after that, say they sentence to the second one, which they're gonna sentence to all 3. That's already in the plea agreement. He gonna have to do, say he gets sentenced to 2 years for all 3, right? He gonna have to do 2 years, then turn around and do another 2 years, then turn around and do another 2 years. That is consecutively. That means back to back to back. He could have fought to get him served concurrently, which means he would have only had to do 1 sentence for all of them. So say if he would have got sentenced for 2 years on all 3 sentences, he would only have to do 2 years instead of having to do 6 years. 2, 2, 2. But that's the plea they gave him. I don't understand it, but that's the plea they gave him. It's crazy.
Is in essence pleading guilty to the court, open to the court, filed with this guilty plea.
Yes, sir.
And at a later date, the state.
Now, what this means for your guy,
sentence Mr. Johnson. I've stated the facts of the start of the plea, so I asked for counsel's
because we have snitches, y'all.
Just very, very briefly, basically 2 or 3 yes or no questions asked of Your Honor, Mr. Johnson, during the guilty plea.
Yes, sir.
I'll ask Your Honor to accept the plea after that.
Ms. Corman.
And Judge, I believe that would be the evidence the state would present the case on the trial. We do stipulate there's a factual basis, and we're going to ask the court to accept our.
Got it, fly, dude.
Corman, Mr. Hagman, thank you. Mr. Johnson, Jamarcus Johnson, go around, please.
I'm gonna tell y'all another spin on this before we get to it. How about they giving him $25,000 bond, Jamarcus Johnson? And he got a curfew. He got to be home between 9 at night and 5 in the morning. And he got to stay home unless he's working. Right? Check this out. He can't possess no firearms, no bullets, no nothing. Right? That's what they're finna tell him. But And out of the $25,000 bond, he only gonna have to pay $2,500 to get out of jail. So if I had to guess, I would assume that, and being that he ain't got no criminal history, I would assume that some of his family members finna bond him out. But check the spin on this: you can't have no firearms. You're gonna be monitored. If I had to, it sounds like they're gonna let him out on house arrest because they're not gonna sentence him until after. I think they said they're gonna sentence him on August 12th or something like that. So he's gonna get sentenced at a later date, right? Check this out though. He finna get out. He's finna be out on bond. Don't you think his life in danger? I do. I definitely do. I definitely do. I think this guy, I'm gonna say this here first. If who behind this situation that we think is behind this situation, we will be right back here blogging in the next couple weeks. What's up, M. Ross? We will be right here blogging in the next couple weeks about an attempt on Mr. Johnson's life. I said it first. If who we think is behind this crime is really behind this crime, I hope they ain't. But all I know is all the incidences that Dolph got into when he was alive, it led back to a certain group of people. So I'm gonna say this. If who behind this situation, who we think behind this situation, yeah, go back and tell him too. Jamarcus Johnson life is in grave danger. Grave danger. You fucking with dudes who got a bag. These dudes had enough bag to get Dolph knocked off. You think they ain't got enough money or won't spare no expense to get you knocked off? You're gonna jeopardize their whole life by you telling in this case. These guys are multi-millionaires. They will clear their bank account to get you off this earth, to keep you from putting them in jail for the rest of their lives. This guy's life is in dire danger. I'm telling you, man. Shit, I'm scared for him. You feel me? I'm telling you, like, bro, they might got $1 million on his head, bro. He can't leave. He can't go nowhere. He should have had them put him in witness protection. I'm just being real.
Johnson, come up here where Deputy Chambers is, and once you get to the seal of Shelby County, put your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand to be sworn, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you will give this cause to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Thank you, sir. Lieutenant Johnson, have a seat here on the witness stand, please, sir.
State witness enrolled for Dolp. I'm doing good, Chanel Bowens. How you doing, beautiful?
Counsel, approach, please.
What's up, Green Dog?
Yes, sir.
This guy telling on his brother, dog. Hey, look. All I'm gonna say is, boy, this was a stank feet Portland. He better pay attention. He better pay attention. He better pay attention. I'm telling you.
your signature and my signature on the document, Mr. Hagerman. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Young Thug, brother did it too.
Jamarcus Johnson, good morning, sir.
What the name? Umfunk? Umfunk? Yeah, Umfunk did it too. Shout out my homegirl Dream Dog, man. Young Thug brother shows sung like a canary on him too.
Mr. Johnson, what's your real name, sir? Need to speak up a little bit louder. The court reporter here has to write down everything you said. Of course, I need to speak up a little bit louder. You can take the mask down if you want to. Yes, sir.
Jamarcus Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, what school did you go to, sir? How far did you get in school? Did you finish the 12th grade? Did you ever get a GED, sir?
No, sir.
Can you read and write okay, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson asked those questions because it requires you to ask that, okay? A couple of things, Mr. Johnson. You were charged by way of an indictment 2204769, charged with conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. That Class A felony carried anywhere from 15 to 60 years in prison. You're pleading guilty on a superseding information, I-2300019, to charge you with 3 counts of accessory after the fact. That's an E felony, carries up to 6 years in prison. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, you have a right to have this case, this charge submitted to the grand jury. When you enter a guilty plea on this information, you're waiving. You're giving up your rights to have this case of accessory after the fact submitted to the grand jury. That case comes to court quicker when you plead on an information. This state will make you the best offer they will ever make on an information, but you're giving up. You're waiving your rights to have this case on an accessory submitted and reviewed by the grand jury. Do you understand that, sir? Is that what you want to do, sir?
Yes, sir.
For the record, I would find that Mr. Corman and his court have advised Mr. Johnson has a right to have this charge with accessory after the fact reviewed by a grand jury. If the grand jury found probable cause, they would indict him. If they did not find probable cause, they would no deal this charge. They'll find that Mr. Johnson has made that decision intelligently and knowingly. Mr. Johnson, I'm going to show you a document for the record. This is a petition for waiver of trial by jury and request for acceptance of appeal guilty. On that bottom right-hand corner where it reads defendant, did you sign that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, all of your rights are above your signature. Those are your state and federal constitutional rights. Did your attorney, Mr. Corman, go over those rights with you and explain them to you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand the rights that you're waiving and giving up today, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jamarcus Johnson, you heard Mr. Paul Hagerman, the prosecutor, recent statements in court a few minutes ago. When you enter this guilty plea, when you enter this change of plea today, you're telling the court that if you had a trial on your case, the state of Tennessee would bring witnesses to court. Those witnesses would testify under oath. They would say things that are similar, that are consistent with what the prosecutor just read. You're telling the court, Mr. Johnson, that if the jury believed those witnesses, that jury would have enough reason to find you guilty of accessory after the fact. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have an absolute right to have a trial on your case if you wanted one. You have a right to say, Judge Carter, not guilty of anything, and I want a trial. Judge, I am demanding a trial. And had this case been tried, you would have a right to confront and cross-examine those witnesses against you. Same time, bring those folks to court. You can look at it in person. They would sit right there on that chair on the witness stand where you're seated. Your lawyer, Mr. Corman, would question those folks to see whether or not they are telling the truth. If a jury did not believe those witnesses, or if that jury thought they were lying or mistaken, that jury would find you not guilty and I would dismiss your case. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Had you gone to trial in this case, Mr. Johnson, you would also have the right to present proof. You could put on witnesses if you wanted to. You could present evidence. You don't have to do anything at a trial ever. If you wanted to, and only if you wanted to, you can take that witness stand and you can testify. You can tell the jury what happened. You can tell the jury your side of the story. If you chose to remain silent and not say a single word, I would tell that jury they cannot hold it against you for any reason at all. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, has you gone to trial in this case? If you had any witnesses that could help you, your attorney, Mr. Courtroom, would send them a subpoena and have them come to court and testify for you. If your witnesses didn't show up, well, they just flat out refused to come to court, I would have those folks arrested by the sheriff. I would make your witnesses come in. I would make them testify. And if I had to, Mr. Johnson, I would put them in jail until your case was tried. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Had you you gone to trial and had a jury found you guilty of anything, you can appeal any conviction the jury gave you. You can appeal any punishment that I gave you. The Court of Criminal Appeals would grant you a new trial or even dismiss your case if that court found that mistakes had been made in your trial. If you could not afford an attorney, I would appoint someone for you free of charge to handle your appeal. Do you understand that, sir? Mr. Jamarcus Johnson, when you enter this change of plea, when you enter this guilty plea, you waive, you give up all those rights. You ask this court to find you guilty without a trial. And Mr. Johnson, both sides are recommending that I do not sentence you today, that a delayed execution of these judgments is set this case for a sentencing hearing. And at that sentencing hearing, Mr. Johnson, you'll be sentenced somewhere between 6 and 12 years in prison. Now, is that the agreement you have to stay in Tennessee, sir? Yes, sir.
6 to 12
Johnson,
years.
just want to tell the truth. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Everything that you say under oath has to be true. If you do not tell the truth, the state could indict you for perjury. That carries up to 12 years in prison. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Before I continue with this guilty plea colloquy, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Hagerman has asked the court's permission to ask you some questions. You waive your right to remain silent when you enter this guilty plea. So listen to the questions that Mr. Hagerman asked of you, sir. Make sure you answer those questions truthfully. You understand that? Because Hagerman.
So this is the judge reading off him to the his rights and stipulations of the plea, right? I done been through this a bunch of times. You just say yeah. You don't even know what the fuck the judge be saying. You just be saying yeah. I promise you. Now they go over this shit with you. Your attorney go over this shit with you before, but really you just be saying yeah. But one thing I want to stop and say, he said that you waive your right to remain silent once you enter a guilty plea, right? So what they're gonna do now is they're gonna ask him some questions, right? Because they want him on the record with these answers. I think they want his ass on the record in case when he get out, they motherfucking wipe his nose. You feel what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but they want him on the record saying this shit. And it eerily reminds me of the Gunner situation when Gunner took his plea and he had to stand up in court and he said your YSL is a gang and this and that, there, whatever. So now we have a clear picture that once you take these type of pleas, these snitch pleas or whatever you want to call them, you have to give factual, truthful statements, or you could be held on perjury charges. And wherever I think in Tennessee, in the state of Tennessee, perjury carries up to 12 years. I don't know how it is in different states. I don't know if it's the same all across the board in the whole United States. But what I'm saying is, this nigga here, he pretty much finna tell it. So here you go, y'all. He finna talk. The lawyer finna ask him questions, and he finna tell exactly what he knows.
I said, Judge Carlton, we don't believe Mr. Jamarcus Johnson has been truthful. They're going to ask the court to vacate this guilty plea. They will strike this guilty plea, and your case will go back to the same status as was before this information was found. You understand that, sir? Any questions, sir?
The judge basically told him, like, look, they finna ask you some questions, right? I think it's the state. The state finna ask you some questions. If you don't answer these questions truthfully, we're gonna vacate your plea, and your case will go back to the status it was before, which means your ass gonna be finna go to trial, and we gonna convict your ass, or we gonna try to convict your ass, and we gonna try to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. So basically, they telling me you better tell the truth when he answer these questions, because if you don't, we're gonna rip this plea up and throw it out, and your ass is grass.
Proceed, sir.
Justin, we have talked before, is that?
Yes, sir.
And when we talked, you told me about meeting with your half-brother, Justin. He's your half-brother, is that right?
Yes, sir.
You told me about meeting with your half-brother, Justin, about a week or so after the murder of Adolph Ford Jr., is that right?
Yes, sir.
So they're saying he met with his half-brother, Justin Johnson, with a straight drop about a week or so after the young Dolph murders. And you're right, Dream Dog, they throwing his ass to slaughter, letting his ass out. I'm telling you, bro, nigga, that nigga should have told them niggas, let me stay in jail, nigga, or put me up in one of the witness protection or something. I'm telling you, boy. Ooh, know, they might be putting his ass out there for bait on the hook though. You know how they like to do. They'll put him out there and dangle him out there for bait on the hook and hope that somebody come and try to knock him off so they can catch them too. You know that's how they do it. They what they say, kill two birds with one stone. You know that's how they do us. They'll set you up. In the hood, they'll tell people that you don't. Nigga, this is what they do to snitches in the hood. Sometimes they'll coach them into snitching right. Play like they friend, get them snitch right. Then once they snitch, they'll tell the people who they snitched on that they snitched on them. The police will, right? And when that person try to kill them, they'll catch him too. Or when the person do kill him, they'll catch him too. Man, they be doing it. It's like Lord Baptist, I say, cold blitz.
You told me at that time that he gave you a car, is that right?
Yes, sir.
You told me at that time he also gave you his cellular telephone, is that correct?
So a week or so later, Straight Drop gave his brother Jamarcus Johnson a car and he gave him his cell phone, Straight Drop cell phone.
You told me that, or did you tell me that afterwards you used that cellular telephone at his request?
Yes, sir.
Did you describe to me a scenario in which you would place one phone up to another while Justin was on another phone for the benefit of his parole or probation officer?
He was called to get somebody's number, and I would put my phone down on the bed, and I put somebody else's phone right there and let them talk to me.
And you told me about the times that you did that, is that correct? And you also described times not just with the probation and parole officer, but also with an individual known to you as C. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you now know that individual to be Cornelius Smith, is that right? And you described to me, and you turned this phone over, and in it were text messages with this individual C, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And some of these text messages, some of what you witnessed was conversation with regard to money that Justin would be getting to see. Is that correct?
He ate for money, yes, sir.
That's for money.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yeah. He ate for money.
Hold on. So, this is a bombshell here. So what they said is the cell phone that Straight Drop gave him, which was Straight Drop's cell phone, right? So what they would do is, when the probation officer would call, right, Straight Drop would be on another cell phone, and he would put the phones together so that the probation officer would think that they're talking to Straight Drop on his original phone, but he wasn't. It was on another phone, and he was thinking that he'd be talking to Straight Drop, but really Straight Drop had already fled the state, right? Also, he would do the same thing, or some kind of way he said it would text Cornelius, which is Cornelius Smith, and then he said he looked. Jamarcus Johnson said he looked at the text message, and the text message was asking Straight Drop to get him his money from the situation. See what I'm saying? So now we know they got cell phone text messages tying these boys to this crime. So now we know that they got concrete evidence of them conspiring to do this afterwards. So, I mean, this case here is pretty much over, big dog. And I want to say this. I do think Hernandez Govan is telling, and I think this is the reason why Jamarcus Johnson is coming out and signing this plea and getting involved in this really quickly, because he understands that this ship is sinking, and being that if you let all of we all know how this thing go. We all have seen First 48. If you let them other dudes go to tell him before you go to tell him, when the shit break down, your ass ain't got no leverage. So I think Jamarcus Johnson, part that he ain't never been in no trouble, and that Govan is alleged to have been telling. I think he's telling, but I have no proof of that. But I do think he's telling. I think that's why Jamarcus Johnson using his head and saying, fuck that shit. I'm finna tell what I know. I ain't never been in jail. I ain't killed no Dolp. Man, I ain't finna do my life for this shit. Somebody got to live to tell the story. And I think that is why he's telling. You know what I'm saying? But what the little bit that he's telling right now is enough. This whole case is over. I mean, only thing now is to see how far this goes up the ladder. That's the only thing. We know they killed young Dolph now. The brother telling it. Like, straight drop, all that, keeping it silent and all of that, it's out the window now. Your brother done told on you. You feel what I'm saying? And allegedly, we think Hernandez go man telling, bro, this shit is over.
Somebody else.
Okay, and that somebody else was referred to as Unc, is that correct?
That's right.
Okay, so this would be money that C asked for from Justin that Justin was going to get from Unc.
That's right.
Is that correct?
Okay, so the money is supposed to come from somebody named Unc, right? Hold on, I'm gonna back this up real quick. They ain't say who Unc is, but I want to back this up because I want to really make sure I heard this correctly.
Somebody else was referred to as Unc, is that correct? What you witnessed was conversation with regard to money that Justin would be getting to C, is that correct?
So Justin Johnson, which is straight drop, will be getting the payment to Cornelius from someone named Unc. They never say who Unc is, but I had a feeling they kind of know who Unc is, right? And evidently, Unc is somebody who ain't incarcerated. And I'm going to tell you why I know Unc is somebody who ain't incarcerated. Because if Unc was somebody who was incarcerated on this crime, they would have said his full name. They would have said, oh yeah, he was getting money to Hernandez Govan or from Hernandez Govan. So Unc is somebody who's not incarcerated. Boy, this finna get deep.
That's for money. Is that correct?
Somebody.
Yo got a brother named Big Juke. I don't know if his nickname Unc. I ain't putting that out there like that, but they say somebody named Unc. I can tell you this, Unc must be somebody older than them.
Okay, and that somebody else was referred to as Unc, is that correct?
That's right.
Okay, so this would be money that C asked for from Justin that Justin was going to get from Unc.
That's right.
Is that correct? You described all that to me.
That's right.
You also looked at some photographs that included one of your half-brother in a particular outfit, and you identified Justin Johnson, your half-brother, in the photograph.
Yes, sir.
So he picked his brother out on the photograph. He done identified straight drop. They just said that.
Understand that one day you may be called to testify in trial this time?
Yes, sir.
You tell the truth that time?
Yes, sir.
You told the truth with me?
Yes, sir.
No further questions?
Court, we have any questions of Jamarcus Johnson?
No question, thank you, Judge.
Mr. Jamarcus Johnson, the felonies that you pled guilty to, accessory after the fact is a Class E felony. It carries anywhere technically from 1 day to 6 years in prison. You understand that, sir? You have agreed under what's called a hybrid guilty plea, State versus Mailer and Hicks, State versus Hicks, in which you're agreeing to plead outside of your range. You're not a range 2 offender. You understand that? In order to be a range 2 offender, you have to have 2 prior felony convictions. You don't have any felony convictions. You understand that? You can agree to plead outside of your range as long as it's within the range of punishment for that crime, that E felony, as long as you're doing that in your best interest. You understand that? So you agree to plead outside of your range as a multiple range 2 offender. That range 2 sentence will carry anywhere from 2 to 4 years in prison. And you've also agreed that at your sentencing hearing, you will be sentenced to consecutive sentences on these 3 counts. So it's a minimum sentence of 6 years in prison to as much as 12 years in prison. Do you understand that, sir?
See, that's part I don't understand. He's only a range 1 offender, which would put him from 1 to 6 to 1 to. Hold on, let me back it up. I want to get this right.
And that you can agree to plead outside of your range as long as you understand that, sir. You have agreed under what's called a hybrid guilty plea, State versus Mailer and Hicks, State versus.
Hold on.
Court, we have any questions of Jamarcus Johnson?
No question, thank you, Judge.
Mr. Jamarcus Johnson, the felonies that you pled guilty to, accessory after the fact is a Class E felony. It carries anywhere technically from 1 day to 6 years in prison. You understand that, sir? You have
Mr. Johnson, the fact
Hold on.
Johnson, that included Mr. Justin Johnson.
1 second, John.
Reason, but range 2 for.
And Judge, I believe that would be the evidence the state would present in the case on trial. We do stipulate there's a factual basis, and we're going to ask the court to accept.
To a sentence that can range
1 second, y'all.
felonies.
I messed up.
Those communities, Your Honor, has this conspiracy. For those reasons, now that we understand those to be the counts and then later
Would be the
testimony you've given us cause to be the truth. The whole
1 second, y'all.
Johnson, what's your real name, sir? You were charged by way of an indictment 2204769 charged with conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. That Class A felony carried anywhere from 15 to 60 years in prison. You're pleading guilty on a superseding information, I-2300019, and charged with 3 counts of accessory after the fact. That's the felony carries up to 6 years in prison. You understand that, sir? Mr. Johnson, you have a right to have this case, this charge submitted to the grand jury. When you enter a guilty plea on this information, you're waiving. You've given up your rights to have this case on accessory after the fact submitted to the grand jury. Any conviction the jury gave you, you're going to appeal any punishment that I gave you. The Court of Criminal Appeals will grant you a new trial or even dismiss your case if that court found mistakes have been made in your trial.
you told me that, or did you tell me that afterwards you used a telephone at
on a house or car or any other place, if you possess any firearms, if you have one single multiple range 2 offender that range 2,
there we go.
And what you're agreeing to plead outside of your range, you're not a range 2 offender. You understand?
This part is interesting. So he's not a range 2 offender, but he agreed to plead outside his range. He's only a range 1 offender because he has no criminal history.
We have questions of Jamarcus Johnson.
I don't understand that.
Mr. Jamarcus Johnson, the felonies that you pled guilty to, accessory after the fact, is a Class E felony. It carries anywhere technically from 1 day to 6 years in prison. You understand?
So the felonies that he pled out to are Class E felonies that carry from 1 day to 6 years. You hear that? 1 day to 6 years in prison. That's all his felonies carry. He got 3 of them, right? He only a grade 1 offender. He don't have no criminal history. They say in order to be a grade 2, you got to have 2 prior felony convictions. He has none, but he has agreed to plead outside of his grade. He's pleading up to a grade 2. Not only that, he's agreeing to run his time consecutively, which means 2, 2, 2, which means no lower than 6. I can only assume that the state attorney was not playing with him and told him either you take this plea or we gonna sink you. That's the only thing, because if they would have just did him regular, he would only be facing 2 years of 2 to 4. And then for him to agree to serve them consecutively, they could have ran them concurrently. They could have ran all his charges concurrently. They do this a lot. He's snitching. He is snitching. He's helping that case. I don't understand how he didn't. I don't understand how he got one of the harsher sentences that he could have gotten, and he's not a felon. He never did a crime in his life. That let me know these people serious. Like, they's taking this serious. Like, even the snitches, they is coming down on them a little hard. Or either somebody already done snitched and they didn't really need him that much. You feel what I'm saying? I don't think I come at now.
And that's sir. You have agreed under what's called a hybrid guilty plea, State versus Mailer and Hicks, State versus Hicks, and what you're agreeing to plead outside of your range. You're not a range 2 offender. You understand that? In order to be a range 2 offender, you have to have 2 prior felony convictions. You don't have any felony convictions. You understand that? You can agree to plead outside of your range as long as it's within the range of punishment for that crime, that felony, as long as you're doing that in your best interest. You understand that? So you agree to plead outside of your range as a multiple range 2 offender. That range 2 sentence will carry anywhere from 2 to 4 years in prison. And you've also agreed that at your sentencing hearing, you will be sentenced to consecutive sentences on these 3 counts. So it's a minimum sentence of 6 years in prison to as much as 12 years in prison. Do you understand that, sir? You understand?
Oh, okay. Okay, so I know why he did it. So as a grade 1, his charges carry 1 to 6, right? But as a grade 2, he could plead outside his range as long as the punishment for the crimes is still within the range of the charges. So what he's doing is he's capping it at 2 years. Because if he would, let's say he get convicted and he stayed inside range 1, he could have got 6. Remember they said from 1 day to 6. So what he's doing is he's capping his punishment for each charge at 2 years, which means a total of 6. He could have being that it is 3 charges, he could have got 6, 6, 6, which would have been what, 18 years? You see what I'm saying? So that's the max for each charge, 1 day to 6 years. So I mean, with his grade. So what he did was he pleaded outside his range and capped his punishment for the crimes at 2 years, 2, 2, 2, which is a total of 6. I get it. Smart.
Make that agreement, you could not be sentenced to more than 2 years in prison. If they were right consecutive, it would be a total sentence of 6. You understand that? Mr.
That was smart.
Johnson, once the court sentences you, you lose all of your rights to citizenship. You understand that, sir? Yes, sir. If you're sentenced on this case, in order to serve the sentence in prison, you'll be a convicted felon. That felony conviction will be on your record forever. You understand that, sir? Yes, sir. If you were sentenced to penitentiary sentence, even placed on probation, I would have to render you infamous for the rest of your life. You lose all of your rights to citizenship. For instance, you lose the right to vote. You cannot vote until you completed that sentence, and the right to vote was restored or given back to a judge, a circuit court, or by a certificate from the Tennessee Department of Corrections. Do you understand that, sir? As a convicted felon, Mr. Johnson, you can never serve on a trial jury. You can never possess, you can never carry, you can never buy, you can never own any handguns, firearms, rifles, shotguns, pistols, ammunition, or even bullets. Mr. Johnson, if you had in your possession, in your hands, in your pockets, on a house or car or any other place, if you possess any firearms, if you have one single bullet in your possession, United States Prosecution Federal Court, unlawfully possessing a firearm as a convicted felon, you can be sentenced to federal penitentiary for a long time. If you possess any handgun or firearm, Tennessee can prosecute you for that. That carries up to 30 years in state prison. Do you understand that, sir? Again, you can...
They done got that boy done snitched. That boy done snitched. That boy done snitched in the Young Dolp murder case. It might lead up to Yo Gotti them, and they sending his ass back out there. He can't own no firearms. He can't own a bullet. He can't own a firecracker. He can't own shit, bro. You a sitting duck, bro. Like, nigga. He's a sitting duck. I'm telling you. Listen, you heard it here first. Marita Boy said it. In a week or so or 2 weeks, we're going to be right back here talking about the attempt on Jamarcus Johnson's life or the taking of Jamarcus Johnson's life. This guy is he's a sitting duck, boy. Listen, I can see him I'm picturing him sitting on a Thanksgiving table with an apple in his mouth, with all the side dishes around him. That's how Yo got him looking at his ass like this. You fool, boy. They gonna get him, boy. I'm telling you, they gonna get him. He can't go nowhere. He can't go nowhere. He can't own no guns. They told him if you in a car, house, or anywhere with a bullet, you can go to federal prison because he's gonna be a felon now. You know what I'm saying? You can't even have a bullet. I never understood that. You ain't even gotta have no gun. If you're a felon, you can't even own a bullet. Like that's just crazy to me. What you gonna do? Throw the bullet at a motherfucker? So you gonna throw the bullet hard enough at a motherfucker to kill him? They outrageous with this shit now. A felon can't even have a bullet. Like say you get pulled over. I got a homeboy that went to jail, the prison. He got 3 years because they found 3 bullets in his goddamn car. They checked. They pulled him over, searched his car for a traffic stop, fucked around and found some bullets up under the seat. That nigga did 3 years in federal prison for fucking bullets, dog. They be tripping with this shit. But yeah, they finna get him.
Tell the truth, and everything that you say has to be true. You understand that, sir? Yes, sir. Do you have any questions about the rights that you waived, the guilty plea you entered?
Jamarcus Johnson, that's your ass, Mr. Postman.
this agreement you have with the state of Tennessee, Mr. Jamarcus Johnson?
No, sir.
Have any complaints about anything that Mr. Corman has done since he's been your lawyer, sir? How long has Mr. Corman been your lawyer, Mr. Johnson?
8 months.
Did he get this 7 months? Did he get discovery for you?
Yes, sir.
Did he let you know what the state would try to prove if you had a trial?
Yes, sir.
Did you have anything that you wanted Mr. Corman to investigate for you?
No, sir.
Do you have any complaints at all about anything that Mr. Corman has done or has not done since he's been your lawyer?
No, sir.
Do you also understand?
I want to say one more thing too while I got this on top of my mind. Do y'all remember when Dolph was murdered and the internet was doing what the internet do and they led it back to Justin Johnson, which is straight drop? He was actually trolling, like dropping music videos and everything, like, and then like telling people he wasn't the murderer, but at the same time looking like the murderer, and he was on social media and he just was sucking up all the attention, the clout from the situation. And this nigga really was the murderer. You got the whole eye of the internet, the hip hop community looking down on you as the murderer. And you dropping music videos, putting subliminals in the music, saying that you actually, this dude was one of the weirdest dudes I ever seen. Like at one point I was like, he can't be the killer because he sure acting like he the killer. Like, you know what I mean? Like he sure like out front and center. And then it turned out you really was the killer. I have no fucking words, man. These goes back to the people I was telling you about that don't care about themselves. Like, listen, I'm finna tell y'all something. We got to stop thinking like rational people when we think about these type of situations and crimes. We think that they think like rational people, but they don't. They don't. The new breed that's out here doing these situations, they don't think like rational people. They'll do it for clout. They'll do it for nothing. They'll do it and tell everybody they did it. And knowing they going to jail. This dude knew he did it and still was front and center in front of everybody, in front of the world, making rap videos, flossing, talking big shit, while everybody looking at you as the guy who killed Dolph, and you really did do it. Threw your life away. These are the people that I'm telling y'all about that don't care about themselves. I don't care what they look like when you see them. It look like they care about themselves. This dude didn't care about himself. He threw his whole life away. Shout out to Jay, man. Shout out to Old School Hemi. Enroll, boy, they better take notes. I'm telling you what Jay said. Takes more heart to stab than to shoot. I agree with that too. Yeah, he was all over the place. Shout out to Rose for real. What's up, Rose? I'm glad you're back. Y'all remember Dream Dawson? Y'all remember him clout chasing that night? I was watching the live for real, man. That shit crazy.
I threw the bees in my bro, so I can't see.
Bro, that's why you don't see in the UK vids any. The police play no games over there. Shout out to UK, man. Down 3 years for some bullets. They think a nigga gonna spit them holes on the key. I swear that's how they do old school him. If you're a felon, hell, I can't have no bullets or a gun. Shit.
Hey, I can't put no holes.
I got a bunch of felons.
Oh, sweetie, they ain't gonna give me stuff on.
Yeah. But this shit crazy.
Johnson, that part of this agreement, this memorandum adopted by the parties, will be filed as a public record with your guilty plea. You're pleading guilty to those 3 counts in that information. You're also agreeing that you be sentenced as a range 2 offender, even though you are in fact only a range 1 offender. You understand that? You also are agreeing that those 3 felony convictions will be served consecutively to each other or one another, making that an effective sentence of minimum of 6 years to as much as 12 years in prison. You've also agreed that
so this guy gonna do a minimum of 6 years. How long he been in jail, y'all? How long has been since Dolp been there? About 2 years? It ain't been 2 years, is it? Has Dolp been dead 2 years, y'all? Somebody get in the chat, let me know if Dolp been dead 2 years. Cause he gonna do 6. That's a minimum. I'm thinking he gonna do about 5. It's been 2 years in November. Okay, Dream Doll says it's been 2 years in November, which means, and we don't know when Jamarcus Johnson went to jail. I know he didn't go to jail right after that. I know it was like some time after that. So let's just say he got almost 2 years in, right? Corey time, sir. He been in 2 years. Remember, he was the last one that got caught. He ain't been 2 years. That's what I thought too, Scotty Fly. Scotty Fly said he ain't been 2 years. Maybe he was the last one that got caught before it go on. You right. So he might got time served. I mean, he might got gang time, which might put him close to 2 years, a year and some change, year and a half, somewhere up in there. So let's just say he catch 6. What he gonna do by 4.5, 5? He out on bail $2,500. Yeah, I seen that. See what I'm saying? I seen that because they set him a bail for $25,000. So he out. Yeah, I told you he gonna be a sitting duck. Listen, he ain't gonna make it, dog. If who we think behind this, I cannot see them allowing him to make it. It's no way. Listen, I'm gonna just say me. I ain't gonna say nobody. Me. This hypothetically speaking, right? I'm a multi-millionaire, right? I already done was orchestrating this from behind the scenes, puppet mastering this, right? Now my minions done started snitching and started, doing what they do. I'm going to spare no expense to get them. I am. I'm just saying. Because if I don't, I'm gone. I see what they're doing. I'm gone. That is the only play here. I'm from the streets, I'm telling you. That is the only play here. That's the only play. So I'm confident. I'm confident in what I'm saying. If he out or finna be out, but what's the name say he already out? So I'm coming for you. And when I mean me, I mean whoever I got that want this bag, it's gonna be like John Wick. That price gonna steadily be going up on that little board. Beep, 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 beep. I'm sending them all at you. I'm sending randoms. I'm sending everybody. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm sending everybody. And I got to. And the reason why I got to is because if I don't, it's all I'm gone. I'm gone. It's over. So I got to scorch earth this thing. I got to do everybody. Everybody gone. You know what I'm saying? But I want to say this too. I don't condone any of this type of behavior or nothing like that. But I just want y'all to see. Do y'all see how this shit keep snowballing? Do you see how something small, bro? Listen. Let's take this back for a second. They beefing over something so. I'm talking about Dolphin and Gotti. They could have let that shit should have been let go, bro. Let me tell you something, bro. Listen, bro. For the fellas. If a nigga knock your chick, she gave that to him. He didn't take it. She gave it to him. You know what I'm saying? Let it go, bro. Let it go. It was her choice to be with you, right? It was her choice. You ain't her mama, you ain't her daddy. She can choose to be with whoever she wants to be with. Now, if she cheat on you and do her thing, then you just let her go. It's not a knock against your pride. That shit happens to everybody. You could be the richest person in the world and you could still get cheated on by the pool boy or the mailman. It's just a choice that people make, and that's their lives. They have the right to make those choices. Now, you don't have to stick around for it. You could just pack up and leave or go or walk away. But don't compound that by getting in your feelings and getting into it with the guy, and then y'all get into something else, and then it's something else, turning something else, and that same woman, where she at right now? That same woman who was at the center of this beef, she is still living her life. This woman is the centerpiece of something that may bring down $2 multi-million people. Dolph already dead. And if it lead back to who we think it may lead back to, his ass in trouble. For what? Something you could have let go. Y'all dudes got money. Y'all got all kind of women, all kind of video vixens, all type of beautiful women. It's cause of embarrassment. It's cause of pride. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't let it go. That's why I told you the best time, not the best thing is to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's what they saying. Don't play with me, play with your bitch. No nigga on some multi-million-dollar shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what they saying. I mean, I'm from Florida, I don't know, but that's what they saying. All I'm saying is this, dog. Let some shit go, dog. Listen, bro. Look what this shit leading to. Man, God can lay in the bed with 10 chicks tonight if he want to. That probably look way better than his baby mama. Bro, listen. You talking about you talking to somebody who done been knocked for a female a couple times. Man, I ain't never fell out with nobody about no chick, bro. Never. And I'm gonna tell you this. Yeah, it hurt. When you love them, yeah, it hurt. It hurt. But let me tell you something. It takes more strength to move on and not do nothing and do to react. Anybody can react off an emotional reaction. What up now?
How long that documentary? It's like 3 hours.
Which one?
Team One.
3.5 hours.
Yeah.
It's on Trap Lord Ross. That's the name of the guy who did it.
Yo, we talking about right one there.
It's good too.
The state of Tennessee is not.
But yeah, bro, listen. Let it go, bro. Listen, bro, I've been knocked for chicks. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't react out of emotions and feeling. It hurt. I get it. I understand, fellas. I done been there. You ain't talking to nobody who ain't been there. I've been there. Story time. Y'all know I got the stories right. No disrespect to nobody when I tell this story, because, you know. I had a girl that I was in love with, right? I'm gonna just keep it like that, because this one here kind of went with her for a long time. When we ended up not going together, breaking up or whatever, she ended up going with somebody that had been one of our closest homeboys. You know what I'm saying? Take it a step further than that. Me and him was from the same block. Hustled on the same block. So it went from me going with her to her going with him on the same block. Years, we lived together and everything. On the same block. I was hurt. But I took it in stride. It took me a long time to get over it. Years. But I ain't do nothing. I let it roll. It was hard. I'm gonna say this, it's hard. It's a tough thing. But as time went on, it got easier, got better, and I just moved on. But it took a while. Plenty of nights I was sick. Plenty of days I couldn't eat. Plenty of times I was depressed watching them when it used to be me and them. But I just didn't do nothing. I chilled. A lot of people laughed. A lot of people picked jokes. All of that. But I still just, I pushed on. That's what you gotta do, man. That's what you gotta do.
made you any promises, no recommendations to your sentence other than they would detail to the court any cooperation and truthful testimony or statements that you have given that may have aided in the prosecution. That's what Hagerman just told you. If some of those other cases go to trial, Justin Johnson or Cornelia Smith or Hernandez Govan, if those cases go to trial, the state of Tennessee might actually call you as a witness. You understand that? You understand you waive your right to remain silent, and you could in fact be compelled to testify if those other cases are tried. You'll also be supervised by Shelby County Pretrial Services. They reporting all parties recommending that you be released on bond in an amount of $25,000. And once you make that bond, Mr. Johnson, you have to report to Shelby County Pretrial Services. They're reporting. We'll file that order with this guilty plea also. You would have a curfew from 9 o'clock at night until 5 o'clock in the morning. You have to be at home every day, all day, until your case is disposed of, unless you are working. I want to encourage you to work. And if you are working, you have to provide the pretrial services proof that you are, in fact, working. Otherwise, from 9 o'clock at night until 5 o'clock in the morning, you have to be at home every day, every night. You understand that? You'll also be in order to enroll in any other...
You hear what they tell him? They say you got to be home every day or every night if you ain't working. So they telling the hitman what he gonna be. Man, this dude in trouble, dog. He dead. He dead. Think about this, right? If he get a job, they gonna know where to find him at. They gonna kill that guy. That guy dead, dog. That guy dead, dog. He can't own a gun. He can't own a bullet. His asses. Shit. He in a tough spot. He in a tough spot. They gonna be on his ass like John Wick. He need to tell them police, put me in witness protection. I'm telling you, he need to go to witness protection. I'm telling you, he need to go to witness protection. Dream Doll say, these niggas be running through bitches and cheating left and right. If they even be in a relationship at all, they ain't beefing over these females. I get you what you're saying, Dream Doll. I get what you're saying. You're saying be like a pride thing, huh? I can see that. I can see that. Cause the same, listen, I'm gonna piggyback on what Dream Doll said. Cause the same niggas that'll kill you over his girlfriend, he be cheating all on his girlfriend and don't even love her. He just don't want her cause he just don't want you to have her cause he just mad cause you got her, you hit her and he don't even want her. So yeah, all of that. Listen, I got dogs that got about 3-4 chicks and they swear all of them they wife. Like, bro, all of them is not your wife, bro. They want all of them. They want to hear all of them. Nobody can talk to none of these. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I agree. For real. These niggas don't care. That's just an excuse when it goes down. Could be. I agree. Sophisticated noodle. I agree. Because I'm going to take it a step further than that. The dude that knocked me for my chick, right? In this store where I just told y'all, I don't think he loved her. I don't think he cared for her as much as I did at the time. I think he did it because it was a thing, like a conquest type thing, like because he actually ended up cheating on her. To be real with you now that I think about it. But I think it was like a conquest thing, like, you know, some dudes like that. They let me tell y'all something. Some people want to sleep with you because other people go with you. You feel me? Oh, that's such and such old lady. Oh, that's such and such man. It's a thing. They don't care not 1 cent about you. They just want to do it because you go with somebody else who they may not like or may want to get under their skin, and you might got a nice body, or you might be a nice looking dude to the women, and they're like, yeah, I'll knock them off. But a lot of times, sometimes it's ulterior motives. Yeah.
Programs that pretrial services deem either group programs or individual programs, such as random drug screens. You have to check in with these folks automatically, regular contact with the person who supervises bond. And you also cannot possess a firearm while this case is pending, and while sentencing is pending. Do you understand that, sir? Do you have any questions about any of those conditions that we talked about? Mr. Jamarcus Johnson, I found for the record that Attorney Mr. Joshua Corman has represented you satisfactorily. I find that Mr. Corman and this court have explained all your rights to you. I find that you understand those rights and that you waived it. You've given up those rights intelligently and knowingly. I do find that there is a factual basis. There is a legally sufficient reason for this guilty plea, which has been entered freely and voluntarily. And upon you plead guilty to information I-23-00019, counts 1, 2, and 3, Class E felonies of accessory after the fact. Mr. Johnson, it is a judgment of this court that you are guilty. The court is going to delay the execution of these judgments. Will delay its sentence on this case until Ms. Corman, Ms. Mime, Mr. Hackman, do you have a recommended date for the next setting on this case?
I think about 45, somewhere between 45, about 60 days.
I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna piggyback on it. I'm gonna read Dream Dog comment, but I'm gonna piggyback on it because when you really think about it, it's all petty as hell. She say it wasn't the woman, it was cause Dolph ain't want to sign with Gotti, so Gotti started dissing and Dolph dissed back and threw the BM thing in his face. But I don't believe Gotti was tripping that hard. I'm gonna say this. Could be. I'm gonna piggyback on what she said. All of it's petty. When you really break it down, ain't it? Man, these dudes, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I ain't gonna say I'm the hardest dude. I'm not the hardest type of dude. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like in the middle. You know what I mean? Like I was raised by my mama half the time, and another half the time I was raised by my daddy. So I kind of split down the middle. I'm kind of like in the middle. I do have empathy, compassion, that type of shit. I ain't just a hardcore macho type of dude. I don't, you know what I mean? That shit I wasn't built like that. But I'm gonna say this. These dudes is sensitive as hell. Like, bro, let me tell you something. God, please bless me with that type of money that these guys got or had in Dolph's case. Bro, I don't give a damn what you say about me. Let me get some millions. Bro, get on the internet, diss me, say whatever you want to say. I bet you this. I bet you I'm not beefing with you over it. You know what I'm saying? I bet you I'm not going. I might say a little something back, but if it get to the point where I see it's getting heated, or we finna get into some gangster shit, man, I'm checking out of that beef if I can. Man, I'm not finna be beefing with nobody, and I'm a millionaire. Man, and you just talking shit. Nigga, make every song you want to make. I go make me some songs, or I won't make no songs. I might just be quiet. I don't know. I might be in Turks and Caicos or Barbados or something. I don't know. But you ain't finna trick me off my square. So I'm finna listen. Let me tell you something too. I see people got a problem with this too, and I see my mama told me about this growing up. You can't stop nobody from talking about you. But you can, but you can't. You get what I'm saying? You can, like, okay, so people going right now on YouTube. People be in my comments all the time. They used to pick at me when I had my wigs. You know what I mean? You can't stop people from talking. They're gonna do it. Like this is what they're gonna do, especially if you a public figure or you out there like that little Yo Gotti and all them. People talk about you. These say all y'all in this chat, people have talked about y'all. I know it hurts when people talk about y'all. It bothers. I get it. But what I'm saying is, what you gonna do? Run around and kill everybody who talk about you? You see what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is we talking about? You get what I'm saying? Like, I guess it's a pride thing, an image thing, and I get it. I'm not saying that I won't react. I'm not saying I won't react to somebody talking about me. I am known to react when they talk about me. But what I'm saying is, I ain't killing nobody for talking about me. Not me. No. No. But then again, it escalated. It went from talking about you to the shooting, to the 100 shots, to the shooting Dolp and all that. So I get it. People, I get it. This shit crazy. I get it though. I get it. A lot of people full of pride these days. They feel like they gotta impress somebody. I hear you, sophisticated Nunu. She's right. She's right. And again, like I said, I ain't judging. I just be sharing my opinions, because I definitely could be pulled into some shit if you say the wrong thing. I'm definitely, like, you know what I'm saying? I definitely could be pulled into some shit. I'm gonna just say it like that. I'm gonna say this: if you know, you know. If you've been following this channel for the last couple of weeks, if you know, you know. I had a little smoke in these YouTube streets, and I actually did address it on somebody's platform. If you find the platform, you can see it. It's a video out there of me going off. It's a video of me out there on somebody else's platform going off on a panel. You know what I mean? So I get it. I ain't trying to, and that was, you know what I mean? It was similar situations. Somebody said something, and I did go off. But I'm gonna say this. I wish this situation wouldn't have happened. I mean, and if this thing turning out like we think it's turning out, because out of all the incidences that Dolph had, as far as like attempts on his life, they all led back to CMG. Every one of them. Black youngster be in jail right now to this day. If Dolph would have went to court on him, Dolph didn't go to court on him. They had the car that was rented by black youngster. Dolph just decided not to press charges and go to court and all that. Even when he got shot that one time, it was with CMG people that he was arguing with at the hotel or whatever. So it ain't far-fetched for us to believe that this is going to lead back to CMG. We got the ties of Hernandez Govan to Big Juke, which is Yo Gotti's brother. You know what I'm saying? We got all of this. It's just lining up like it's another CMG situation. And we say, nah, Dolph don't eat bread. We say, nah, Dolph don't eat bread and butter. I don't know what that means, Jay. But look, so this gonna be, these boys telling. Let's just say that these boys telling. And when I say these boys, I definitely believe Hernandez Govan telling. They have already another case that Hernandez Govan was involved in where he snitched. This is fact. This is fact. So he will tell something. He been released on bond. He's alleged to be the mastermind. Also, the father of a lot of cats Desto, who was killed out in Houston, and they saying it was a situation where this possibly was as a result of her father's involvement in the Dolph situation. But this dude was alleged to be the mastermind, and this dude is free on bond. Where they do that at? I think he telling. We know Jamarcus Johnson telling. Straight drop them. Y'all add. Let me tell you what's gonna happen. They say that Jamarcus Johnson, they say that Straight Drop was getting money from somebody named Unc to give to Cornelius. Who Unc is, we don't know. Well, as far as us, we don't know. But I tell you, whoever Unc is, Unc ain't in jail. Because if Unc was in jail, they would have said his real name. So we have more arrests coming in this case. And if I had to guess, with him turning state today, Jamarcus Johnson turning state, I guess that they coming. They put his ass out there for bait. He wants to get out. I want to get out of jail. Nigga, you bait, nigga. You bait. They finna see who else come out the woodworks to kill you, because you telling. They finna try to get everybody. You gonna tell on them, and then we gonna get the ones who try to kill you or kill you. They might even let them kill them and get them on murder charges. and then try to get the situation that way. Man, let me tell you something, boy. It is no way that your God is not an investigation with all of this smoke surrounding him. It's no way. It is no way. Let me tell you something. If I was him, I'd go right over there where Russell Simmons at and chill out. I take Angela over there where her uncle at, and y'all chill out. Cause it's looking like it's getting real hot. He cannot afford to stick around to see what's finna happen. And I call shots from cross seas. That's what we better do. Cause them boys telling, man. We seen this dude tell. This dude just told on live. What's gonna happen when they get to a straight drop? Straight drop, no, he told on that. What is it for him to be quiet about? He's not gonna be quiet. All of them finna tell. Is no reason to be quiet. So you getting told on, your brother telling on you. So you just finna be quiet and just catch everything? No. You finna tell on uncle, auntie, granddaddy, grandma, everybody who you can tell on to make sure or to try to get some of this time cut, because you know you catching time now.
What is that, Mom?
I wonder how much you got paid. I want to know how much you got paid, right? Right, Mama Pig, Daddy Pig. For real, they finna tell on everybody. This case finna move real fast right now. But I tend to believe that Jamarcus Johnson got wind of whatever Hernandez Govan was saying, because this came real quick after Hernandez. See, Hernandez Govan, he acted quick. But I'm trying to figure out why ain't no other arrest done happened yet. I'm telling you, it seems like something big is coming. It gotta be something big. They don't just want to arrest one person or two people. It seems like they want to arrest multiple people. That's the only reason. Because, okay, so just say Hernandez go over and they tell like we suspect he's already telling. Then why they just didn't go and arrest that person who he told on? You see what I'm saying? It seems like they waiting. It seems like they trying to catch as many of them fish as they can. It's perfectly conceivable that it is a federal RICO charge coming. I can see it, because I just don't understand. If we got Jamarcus telling, we suspect Hernandez Govan telling from the way everything been shaking out with him. You the mastermind. You got a bond on a murder. You got a bond before the people who did the murder. How? You're the one who they said put them up to doing it. You got a bond, but the lower guys on the totem pole didn't get no bond. Shit, he got a bond before Jamarcus Johnson. Jamarcus Johnson had an accessory after the fact. He wasn't even involved in the actual crime. He just helped facilitating stuff afterwards. He didn't even have a bond. But Hernandez Govan got one and got out. He told, or he telling. So this gonna be big, dog. This gonna be big. This gonna be big. What y'all think? Get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. What y'all think? I think it's gonna be big. I think it's gonna be big. And whoever Unc is, Unc ass better be on. Unc ass better dress like him a woman and get on the next motherfucking boat smoking about this motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? Unc better dress like a woman, nigga. Unc better not even look like Unc. Unc better look like auntie. Dream Doll said, I can't wait till they connect it directly to Yo Gotti. Who I think Unc is? I'm gonna say this, Dream Doll. If Unc ain't Big Jew, Unc ass dead. Think about it. Unc ass dead. put it this way. Say I'm CMG. Your guy that Big Juke, whoever was behind this, right? And say Unc was a middleman who hired Hernandez Govan. Unc ass be swimming with the fishes. I'm telling you, because if I get Unc, then they can't tie it back to me. Unc ass to be a fish fillet right now. And I'm not condoning any of that, but I'm just saying all this because I think some of this stuff gonna end up happening and around this case. And when it do, we gonna report on it. But I can see it. Jamarcus Johnson ass is in jeopardy, and whoever Unc ass is, Unc might be sitting outside, thinking he cool, playing dominoes. You know what I'm saying, chilling, and somebody walk right up to his ass, rockabye baby, because if we cut it off with you, similar to the Vaughn FBG Duck case, right? Let's just say Dirk did have something to do with it. We don't know that. I'm just throwing it out there. With Vaughn dying, it cut off the chain. You see what I'm saying? Who you got Moop and all of them. Then we got Vaughn, because they saying that Vaughn would have been indicted in this had he been alive. But being that he died, it ain't nobody to go up higher because he was the buffer. I think Unc is like one of them if he's not Big Juke himself. I want to know who he is though. And if he isn't Big Juke, Unc ass underwater, the fish don't sting. I'm telling you, he got something to do with it though, because they pulled Juke in for questioning. Yeah, that was strange to me too. It was strange to me. I think Big Juke did not say. I think he held it down. I think he said he didn't know, or however it go. Or maybe he didn't talk. Maybe he got his lawyers in there and said, I don't want us to give no statement and none of that. So I do believe that. But I want to know who Unc is too. That's who I think is Big Juke. I believe it too, Dream Dog, but I don't know. But I suspect it's a Big Juke too. I suspect it. But I got a question. Since I wonder, do they got these cell phones? I wonder, do they have the cell phones that they actually saying that? But then again, they don't need the cell phones in order to get the text messages, right? I don't think they do. I think they can get the text messages from the phone company. So why don't they know who Unc is? Or do they know who Unc is? You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It's strange because they know it's text messages from from Justin to Unc. And they know it's correspondence between Justin and Cornelius. Because Straight Drop was the person who was getting Cornelius the payment. This was a hit, dog. That's crazy. This really was a hit. Like this really was a hit on Young Dolph's life. Like they got evidence of the money being paid and changing hands, and it was a real hit. And they didn't even get paid until it was over. Damn. This shit, like, these niggas put a hit on Young Dolph. This nigga put a hit on Young Dolph, dog. A superstar rapper in broad daylight. And they did this shit in front of everybody. In front of the world face. They didn't want to say who Unc is in court. Definitely they knows who Unc is. Shout out to Ambrose. I like that. Yes, they had pulled him in, and my hood, UNC, is the older folk. That's what I'm saying. The older folk, yeah. He got something to do with it, though, yeah. Dolph said in songs that's how they was going to have to do it. Again, they really did it. Damn, dog. She right. Damn, Dream Dog. It's a pay hit. Everyone knew that they plotted since June. Yeah, I seen that they plotted since June, dog. Damn, I seen that. Hey, look. Hey, y'all know what time it is, man. I got to end this live. I got to go to work. I got tree job, and I'm off tomorrow, though. Look, Shout out to Dream Dog. Shout out to Sophisticated Noodle. Shout out to Battalion Bullet. Shout out to Chicks 1000, aka Chick 1K. Shout out to Nephew For Real. Shout out to Flyboy Michael 4. Shout out to Audio Crack 22. That's my guy, man. That's my guy. Shout out to Audio Crack 22. Shout out to Spoonful of Game, man. Go subscribe to Spoonfuls of Game on YouTube, man. That's YNW Juvie Father's channel. Go subscribe to his channel, man. Also, shout out to Unspoken Crime Mysteries, man. I'm rocking with you, man. I'm rocking with you. We got some big things going on behind the scenes with Spoonfuls of Game, with Spoon Channel, y'all. Listen. I'ma just say this, y'all. Go subscribe to Spoon's channel. We got some big things going on behind closed doors now. We've been blessed. God been blessing us. And I want to thank y'all. He want to thank y'all for y'all support. I go over this channel and look through his comments regularly, and I see a lot of you guys in his comment section supporting them, and I appreciate that. He appreciate that. We appreciate that. Justice for Juvie, justice for Sack, long live Juvie, long live Sack Chaser. But it's some big things. Spoon finna be doing some big things, y'all, and y'all guys are a big part of that, because you guys are the ones that supported him. You guys are the day ones. You know what I'm saying? Spoon go through every comment. So every comment that you put on there, he read them. So I just want to ask y'all to continue to support. Stay on the lookout for the things that's coming down the pipe. But because of course, you know, a lot of people been reaching out to him. I don't want to say what's going on, because I like to wait for stuff to happen. But I just wanted to let y'all know, man, he appreciates your support. I appreciate y'all support. And due to you guys' support, a lot of things are happening behind closed doors, behind the scenes, and you will be seeing it in the near future, man. What else I wanted to say? I will be talking back about this case. I want to go over this some more, because I really believe that this thing is going to explode. It's got to explode at this point. We'll be doing some more Melly updates probably tonight when I get off of work. We will be broadcasting live when I'm gonna have it up on my computer. I'm gonna have it split screen to where, you know, we can see the actual courtroom, and then we'll have a panel on the side. I'll probably call some of you guys up on the panel. We're gonna be doing through StreamYard, so you know we're gonna be a lot of changes to this channel in the next couple days. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna be going live, so I call some of you guys up, and y'all can share y'all opinion as to what's going on in the trial, while the trial is going on. Also, Spoon will be giving play-by-play analysis the evening after the trial is over with, letting you know what he feel about whatever testimony or whatever was said in court that day. And yeah, man, so we got a lot of big things coming, man. A lot of stuff happening, man. Shout out King, like I said, shout out King AK47. Said it as I heard they gave me a shout out. I didn't see it, but you know what I mean, one of my subs said it, and I trust them. And I actually talked to them once or twice on messages in about 2 years ago. So I know they probably do know of me or know of us. Also, Spoon's supposed to be going on King AK47 here in the near future here. King AK47 did announce that a couple days ago when he did one of his videos. So be looking for that. But yeah, like, share, subscribe, comment. Cheers.